Hello everyone, welcome to this video. So in this video, we are going to see some of the features of Oracle 26AA. In the previously, they named it as Oracle 23AA database, that is autonomous database. Now they are renamed to Oracle database 26AA. So 26AA is nothing but they have introduced many AI features and functionalities, and they improved some enhancement in the developer for developers in the SQL query statements level. So in this video, we are going to see the SQL query statements. What are the enhancements they have introduced when compared to the previous versions? So let us begin. So first of all, I'm going to show you the what is the instance is currently what database we are going to work on. Mostly we are going to work on the 26AA. So for that, I'm going to showcase your version here. So that is a product component version. So here you can see it's like Oracle AI 26AA. This is a product, and the version is 23 version, and the version full is 23.26. That is the 23 version will be a 23 Oracle 23AA, but the version full will be a 23.26. That is 26AA database. So in this database we are going to work on. So currently we are in, and now we will see one by one features which they introduced in the SQL statement levels. The first feature we are going to see is like if exist or if not exist in DDL. So you have just come across these case statements like if exist or if not exist. Maybe you will be using in your SQL statements whether if exist, like some you will be using some subqueries to fetch, and you can check whether the statement exists or records present or records are not present likewise. So if exist and if not exist, you will be using in your SQL statement. But in a 26A, they have introduced this if exist and if not exist in their DDL statement level. So what is that? Like while creating a table, and the table object is already present, you will get a error. So what error? So let me show it. So I'm just mentioning create table temp tbl. So just I'm just mentioning, just a minute. I'm just mentioning with a one column creating a table. What it says, the name is already used by an existing object. So you will get this error when the database object or what are the object you are creating is already exist in the current scheme. So this error will be thrown. So in the 26A, they have given an option to handle this error, and if the table is not present or the database object is not present, then only it will create a new table. Otherwise it will just it will not throw an error. So there is a functionality they introduced, that is we will using if exist, if not exist. So here how we can write is create table if not exist. If not exists, then we are just writing. So from this name you can get to know create table if not exist temp table. That is, if the table is not present in the database, then it will create this table. Otherwise it will not create the table. It will omit this statement without throwing an error. So this is the advantage. First I will just describe my existing table data structure. So this is my table structure. You can see employee ID, name, designation, salary, and active file. These 5 columns are present. Now I'm going to run this. You can see that I'm getting table creator. Previously I'm getting a error. Now the statement is successfully passed. You can just think it off, or you will get a doubt that whether this table will override the existing DDL structure. Now I will just clarify that too. So employee ID, name, designation. So I'm not, it is not overridden. So the previous structure is preserved. That is, it will not execute until this condition is satisfied. That is, if the table is not present, then only it will initiate this create DDL structure, execute that. Otherwise it will not create the table. It will just omit that creation process. So this is one of the feature introduced in 26A. So for create statement, we will be using if not exist. Then where we will be using if exist? Any guesses? if you guessed, type in the comment. So if you want to use this exist statement, we will be using in the drop table. So in the drop table, if the table is present, then only the action should be performed, otherwise it should not perform. So in this statement, drop table exist, you can use exist statement. So if the table is present, then only it will drop the table, otherwise it will not throw an error, it will pass the statement. So for create table we will be using if not exist, and for drop table we will be using exist. So this is one of the feature. So we will go to the next feature. So next feature is like inserting multiple values. Inserting multiple values using single insert statement. So in the previous versions, you need to, if you want to insert a values, you need to write insert into columns, those you need to specify those columns and values. Likewise, if you want to insert a 5 records, then you need to write 5 different insert statements one by one, and you need to execute individually if you are running in this terminal. So in the 26a, they are given an option to insert multiple values in a single insert statement syntax. So how to insert that, we will just check it out in this video. So I'm going to use this syntax. So insert into temp tbl values, I'm going to mention this column values. This is like id, name and the designation, this is salary, and this is department. So these are the columns present in this temp tbl. So in the previous versions, you need to write insert into temp values and this one, then you need to write again insert into temp values likewise. But in this 26a, they given a feature or option for inserting multiple values using a single insert statement. So you need to separate your values using commas. So now I will just insert, for example, I will just showcase what is currently available data. You can check, currently there is no data found. If I run this, you can see 3 rows are inserted. So I'm written a single insert statement with multiple values, 3 records, and the 3 rows are inserted. Now I'm going to run this. Now you can see double one, 111 and 112, 113. So these 3 records were inserted successfully. So this is the second feature, we can insert multiple records using a single statement. So this is one of the feature introduced in 26a. Now we will just move on to third one. So third one is like a Boolean data type column. So in this 26a, they have introduced this Boolean data type. So we can use our column as a Boolean data type. In the previous versions, maybe we will not have a direct support of Boolean within our SQL column, that is table column. So in this, they are even option for using the Boolean data type. Now I'll just showcase your demo. So we will take the same example, temp tbl. So this temp table contains employee ID, name, designation, salary and department. 5 columns. Now we will add one more Boolean column, that is alter table temp tbl. The Boolean column should hold true or false. That is a Boolean. So true or false. For that we will going to use, this is like employee table. So we are going to use the status, like employee status, whether he's like active or he just resigned or left the organization. So like a status we are going to monitor. For that we are going to make active flag column using true or false Boolean type. For that alter table temp table add, I'm going to make it as like status or something. So status, I'm going to make it as Boolean. So in this 26a, we have the option for making it as Boolean. So you can see the table is altered. Then I'm going to describe it. So now you can see my status column is added and the data type is Boolean. So this is the important thing. So in the previous version you will not have direct support on this, but in this version they are giving a direct support on Boolean. That is, you can store true or false directly within your column database. Instead of a string literal, you can directly store that Boolean values. Now we will see a demo how it's working, that Boolean values. For that I'm going to write PL SQL statement within this. So declare, I'm going to mention it as Boolean data type. This is a variable, local variable we are going to use, and I'm going to fetch Boolean. Like before that, we can just update this column with the Boolean value. I'm going to update temp dpl set status equal to, we can mention it as true. So for all the columns we are going to mention it as true. Now I'll just print that statement, select asterisk from temp dbl. Now you can see this third column is that like true 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 like that. This is a boolean type, and we have just got. Now we will just query that st- status into this vbool variable from temp tbl, where employee id equal to 111. So now we are going to fetch this, and we need to check whether this value is stored as a real boolean or not. For that we are going to make it as if else statement, and we are going to print it in console for the confirmation. For that dbms output, we are going to use this put line like boolean value passed. So we're going to make this message here failed. So we are just storing these values in a boolean value in this local variable, and we are just checking the status whether if it is true. We are not checking with equal to true or a string literals. We are just directly referencing this, since it's like a boolean type. We are just making it will return a true or false. So if it is true, then the statement will be executed. If it is false, then the statement will be executed. Now I'll just run this. Oh, I'm getting something error. Status must be declared. Okay, okay, sorry. I need to use this v boolean variable here. So now we will get some values. So now we can see boolean value passed. Then it is executing this if statement. So now I am getting a boolean value that is true, and the statement is executed. So this is the use of this boolean data type directly as a column data type in a Oracle 26AI database. This is the third feature, we are just seeing it. So boolean type, we can use a direct boolean type. Next we will see one more type. This is group by. So what is a group by? So mostly you will be using this in the aggregation function, like I need to fetch the department wise salary details or department wise employee count and other kind of things. You will be using this group by statement, that is aggregate functions. So where and all you are using aggregate functions and other things, you need to use this group by. So on the group by, I will show you a demo. So here we will see temp tbl. So here you can see, now I'm going to print department wise average salary. Here department I am having 1 2, so I'm having distinct of two departments, and I'm going to print department wise. For that I'm going to make it as department comma average. I'm going to take a average of salary. So I'm mentioning average of salary from temp tbl and group by department. So now you can see I'm getting group by, like first department I'm getting average salary of 55,000. Second department I am getting 35,000. In this scenario, if I have multiple thing, for example here I am having some expressions or something, instead of mentioning like a direct column, I can mention the positions. So this is the feature they introduced in Oracle 26a. So here I can mention one. So one is the sense this first column, it will refer to the first column in the select statement. For making this feature work, you need to alter the session, alter session. So you need to use alter session set group by position enabled equal to true. So this property you need to enable, so then only this group by positional group by will be working. So alter session set group by positional enabled equal to true. Once if you executed this, so the statement is present. Now if you run this, you will, so you can see now after enabling this, you are getting this department wise salary details. I'm just mentioning group by equal to position. So this department wise using this positional group by, this they have introduced in this 26a version. And you can also use this group by all. So this group by all is nothing but if you have multiple select statement columns which you need to introduce in the group by. For example, here department wise, department name wise, or division wise, department wise, division likewise. If I have a multiple columns, then I no need to mention all the columns here. So I can just use this group by all. So this all will include all the selected statements. So this is also one of the feature that will be mostly used by for the developer, since no need to, if you alter any query, no need to introduce those columns in the group by column. So if you mention group by all, then this will work. So this is one of the most frequently used feature. You can make use of it, this statement. Then we will just see one more feature. So here this feature is like alias referencing. For example, here I'm going to select temp tbl. So here you can see this is the column structure. Now I'm going to print like employee id and the name and the designation from temp tbl. Here I'm going to make it as designation, or I'm going to make it as employee id as employee. I'm going to make it as alias name. So I'm getting employee. Suppose if I need to order this employee in the descending wise, then I need to mention employee id descending. Then I will get the descending order. Suppose if I need to use this alias name instead of direct column, then in this 26a you can make use of that also. You can use this alias name as this order by and the group by statements. So this is one of the feature again you can use in the 26a. So there are a lot more features that are improved in this Oracle 26a in the AI functionality part and other DB structure. We are just seeing some few more points which is frequently we will be using in our day-to-day activities. So if you like this video, please subscribe our channel and put a like to our video, and please share this video as much as possible. So please support us. Thank you.